What's up YouTube? Welcome to my very first Q&A video here on this channel. I reached 1000 subscribers and I asked you if you want a Q&A, and if so, please give me some questions. You guys gave me some questions and I am here to answer them. And before we start, thank you once again for the first 1000 subscribers. That's so crazy. Only through Ren, so thank you Ren. Before we start, feel free to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to get notifications every time I release something new. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment down below, because that's always good for the algorithm. And yeah, I would say we should start with the questions. There's only one thing I want you to ask before we start with the Q&A. You guys know I do every Monday, Wednesday and Friday a reaction video, but I would love to make some more things, something besides the reaction content. The place I'm living is way too boring for weekly IRL streamings, but I love playing video games, I love producing music, I love cooking, I do so many things beside of that. I wanted you to decide what content do you personally love, and is there something you think I could do too, because I am thinking about making 4 videos a week, but I don't want to make a 4th reaction video. I want to do some other stuff. So feel free to leave in the comments some ideas what I could do, what you would love to see me do, and maybe we can make some special Sunday content. It was just an idea and I wanted to ask you about your opinion. And now let's start with the Q&A. The first question is from crIIEpz. What country are you in? What country were you born in? I noticed you have an accent, I'm just curious. But also, Momstin asked, I'd like to know where you're from. I'm from Germany and I was born in Germany and I hate Germany. That was a bonus answer. And yeah, I know I have an accent. I wish I could speak more without an accent or with an American accent. I don't know, I love the New York accent. And maybe someday I'm so good that you can't tell that I'm from Germany. Learning. But yeah, I'm from Germany and I live in Germany. I wish I could move away, but that's not that easy and not a decision you can make in one day. So yeah, but I'm still young and everything is possible. But yeah, I'm from Germany and I speak mostly German. So the next question is about my English again. It's from Jonathan Shaw and he asks, I'd like to know when or how long it took you to learn English. You pick up lines I had to go back and listen to several times. Also, Bridget Manella asked, how did you learn to speak English so well? Well, first of all, thank you guys. I started learning English in 5th grade and English was always my favorite thing in school, except the breaks. Yeah, I always like to learn English and most of the content I watch or I'm listening to is English, so mostly the music I listen to is English. I watch a lot of American TV and English speaking shows. Also, when I watch YouTube videos, they are mostly from the US, and I guess that's how I learn it. I watch it and I take something from it. I learn new words and yeah, I wouldn't say that my English is very well because I think when it comes to grammar there are many mistakes, or at least I guess there are many mistakes. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. And if you're curious why I watch movies and series in English when I'm a German and I could watch it in German, it started when I was listening to a podcast and someone told that he's watching South Park, and he started watching South Park in English because the jokes are way more funnier and it's a little bit different in English. And I thought, okay, well, let's give it a try. And I started watching South Park in English and I couldn't get it. I watched it and I thought, well, okay, the jokes are very different and it's harder to get the humor compared to the German language. I kept going and I continued watching it in English and slowly I got it. I would personally say that especially South Park is way funnier in the original language. The next question is from Rebecca Royer, and she asked, what does your channel name mean and what is your first name? Well, my first name is Rafa or Raphael. And what my channel name means, I did listen to the song Creep by Radiohead, and I mean the song is more about an eating disorder, but the part I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, it makes sense when you look at me, especially when I was younger. I was constantly in a fight with people who didn't understand that there are people who are looking a little bit more alternative, and people tell you all the time, you look weird, what's your problem, etc. And I thought, well, let's do a channel and call it Creep, because it's a safe space for all the creeps. That was the idea, but Creep of course wasn't available, so I played a little bit with the name until there was Creeps. It's basically a place for all the creeps in this world, but the positive, not the negative ones. It doesn't have a very deep meaning, it's just here you can be the creep you want, be just yourself and enjoy your life. That's all. That's everything behind the name. Nothing really fancy or special, in my opinion. Maybe you guys think that's a very great idea for a name. I don't know. For me, it's just a name. Guy Hood asked, what got you to start doing reactions in the first place? And LD asked also, what brought you to start making the reaction videos? Let's go a little bit back in time. When reaction videos started to become a thing, I was really laughing hard about it, and I said, I don't understand how people could watch this type of content. Why should I watch someone watching a video when I can watch the original video without him pausing and talking about it? It was a mystery to me why people like this kind of content. And then I discovered Alex Hefner from Texas, and I saw the title Hip Hop Head or Rap or hip hop fan reacts to Slipknot, and Slipknot is one of my all-time favorite bands. And I thought, okay, that's interesting, because the people I know from my teen years, they were not so open-minded, and when it comes to heavier music, they were judging you for listening to that stuff. So I thought, okay, well, I give it a try. I want to know what a hip-hop listener from Texas thinks about Slipknot, and I was very surprised that he was so open-minded. The fascinating thing about reaction videos, for me personal, are that I started to watch it, and I'm always curious if the person thinks the same about the song or the video as I do, if we are on the same level, and or does this person have another opinion and I can maybe learn something about it. And yeah, I became quickly, I would say, addicted to reaction channels and watched many reactions. To answer the question why I started making reaction videos, I would say there are three main reasons. First of all, I'm a little attention whore, and I would say 99% of people who create some content, if it's streaming, YouTube videos, music, in the film industry, or writing books or whatever, 99% of those people are little attention whores, because you could make art or content and never release it. But why should you do that? Because you want that people see your content or your art. The second reason is I love being creative and I love making new things and learning. Of course, I love learning. So I saw people stream on Twitch. I never streamed on Twitch. I never knew if I could do that. So I tried it and I could do it. I had no viewers. But yeah, I did something new and I learned something new. I love making music. I love cutting videos. I don't want to say that I get bored easily, but for me personally, to make just one or two things for many years, it's like I need changes in my life. I'm someone who loves being creative, but also loves to learn new things. So I thought, well, I'm watching so many reaction content, I should start making one and look how it goes. And so far it goes very well. And the third reason is that I wanted to build an international audience and make an English-speaking channel. I hate speaking German. I don't know. I did it for over 30 years now. It's boring. And I noticed that when I'm not in Germany, for example, I'm in France or wherever, and I need to talk in English to people, I don't have problems to write it, but I had always the problem to find the right words very quick. So I thought about what I want to say minutes before I had to speak to people. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I should make an English-speaking channel to reach people from all over the world. Because if I would speak in German, probably most of you guys wouldn't understand what I'm talking. And that's always a good exercise for me because, and I noticed that since I'm doing these videos, my English has so much improved. It's so much easier right now for me. So yeah, these are the three things why I started with a reaction. I'm a little attention whore. I wanted to improve my English skills, and I love doing creative stuff and new stuff, and wanted to look how this goes. Next question. Broke Gordon asks, what do you consider a bad hair day? Yeah, when I'm not happy with my hair. That's for me a bad hair day, and in this video I wasn't really happy, but I had no time because the video had to be ready the next day, so I had to record these 3 videos and had to cut it, and I have a full-time job and I make music, so I can't say, oh well, I record this video tomorrow when my hair looks a little bit better. So for me a bad hair day is when you look in a mirror and you think it doesn't look perfect. And this also doesn't look perfect, but the line is more symmetric than in the last video, and that was one of the things I noticed when I did record this video, and yeah, I wasn't happy. Carol Millens asks, are you a musician or in a band? Yeah, I would say I'm a musician, and I'm not in a typical band with more than one band members. I produce electronic music, so I can do that all by myself. I would call it a project. My project name or band name is Chains of Agony. You can look down in the description because I put a link there where you can find my social media stuff and my music. It's a very underground scene where I make this music. It's part of the gothic electronic scene. The lyrics are often very negative and the music is pretty dark and heavy and aggressive, and yeah, but I really would love to make music in the metal scene. And speaking of that, Nanas Bananas asked, do you play any instruments? Of what draws you to music? I mean, what draws me to music is, I don't know, music is always a very huge part in my life, and since I'm 6 I wanted to become a very successful and famous musician. My dream since I'm 6 years old is to be something like Slipknot, for example. I think time's up and I will never gain that success and I will never make this dream come true. That's a little bit sad, but yeah, I never stopped making music because I can also enjoy the little things in life. And when there is someone outside of Germany, just one person, and is telling me, oh, I listened to that song and that song is very good, that's also great because it's something positive and everyone loves to hear some positive things. And then Nanas Bananas ask, do you play any instruments? Not professional, I would say. Through the video game Rocksmith, I learned to play guitar and bass. And bass is pretty good. And guitar is only good when I play drop tuning because I hate playing standard tunings. I don't know, I press too hard on the fretboard, I guess, and after one song my hand hurts as hell. But bass is pretty easy. So yeah, I would say I play bass, and like I said, I wish I could start a metal band, probably metalcore or nu metal, and I would play bass. If someone wants to start a band and needs a bassist, hit me up. The next question is again from Malmsteen, and what kind of music you like? I like a lot of music. I don't have one or two specific genres. As long the music makes something with me and creates some emotions, I like it. Mostly I love gothic and metal music. My most listened metal genres are nu metal, metalcore and deathcore. And the most listened goth subgenres are probably agrotech, electro and industrial rock. But also I can go to techno clubs and rave the whole night. I love trance, I love pop music from the 90s, and I love dark pop. I like rap and hip hop, mostly gangster rap, or at least hip-hop beats with a really harsh, crawling sub-bass. I really love it. The only thing I'm not into is country and German Schlager. That's the only thing, and classical music, except from some movie soundtracks. So classical is okay if it's from a movie I really like. There is no specific genre I'm into. I listen to so much music, but mostly it's electronic and guitar music. Okay, very quick, I have to pause here because I was editing this video and then I realized that I forgot one question, and this is probably one of the best questions. Of course, I like all those questions, but I hope I pronounce it correctly. Is it American Howie Flower or American HWI Flower? I really don't know, I'm sorry. But the question is, what is your guilty pleasure in music? And I know that probably some people are very shocked about this answer. That's why I really like this question, and I'm so mad that I forgot it. Let me answer that question very quick. My guilty pleasure is and was and will be forever the Spice Girls. I grew up in the 90s. The Spice Girls were one of the first bands I discovered for myself, and I love the first two records. And I watched as a kid the Spice Girls movie in the cinema. I know this movie is definitely not the best. It's very, very bad, but that's definitely a guilty pleasure. So yeah, the Spice Girls, always and forever. And now let's continue with the video. Onion Junkie asked, who's your favorite non-musical artist? Paintings, statues, etc. I am not so much into painting and statues. I don't read books that much. The most thing I'm consuming is music, and besides music, movies. So I would say my favorite non-musical artist is, look at me, it's Tim Burton. But he also makes pictures, so I would say you can say paintings. Yeah, Tim Burton or John Carpenter, because John Carpenter made the Halloween movie, and the Halloween movie is one of my favorite and most important movies of all time. So yeah, I would say Tim Burton and John Carpenter. Also Trey Parker and Matt Stone, because I think South Park is the best cartoon ever made, and probably the guys behind Pokemon. Because Pokemon is a huge part of my life too. So the Pokemon Company. Oh, it's me again. And I noticed something while editing, that there are two more artists I really love. The first artist I forgot was David Lynch, because David Lynch was or is the master of surreal. And if you have never watched a movie from David Lynch, I highly recommend to watch Lost Highway. That was the first David Lynch movie I've seen, and that movie was in my head for over 2 weeks, and I tried to figure out what's the story about. And David said in an interview that if you try to understand this movie, you don't understand this movie, and that made me way more confused. And yeah, also I highly recommend to watch Twin Peaks, because Twin Peaks is absolutely amazing. And the second artist I forgot is Tommy Wiseau, and you probably have never heard of Tommy Wiseau. He came to America and he wanted to make a movie, and he wrote the script, he wrote the dialogues, he produced it, he bought the cameras, he is the main character, he edited, he sold it, he made everything. And The Room is his most known movie. They said it's the best, worst movie of all time, and this movie is so great. And I would recommend you, if you have never heard of Tommy Wiseau and you never watched The Room, you should watch the original The Room. Then you should watch the movie The Disaster Artist, because this movie explains how they produced this movie. And then you should watch The Room again. That's the best way to experience everything. But I need to mention that I'm talking about the movie The Room from 2003, because there is another movie called The Room, but this is the wrong movie. Tommy Wiseau and David Lynch are definitely also two non-musical artists I really, really love. Shaza asked, what are your all-time top 5 goth songs? Well, are you kidding me? Only top 5 goth songs is really hard, because 5 is not enough. Also, there is a little problem because I like the electronic music, and some old school goths would say this is not goth. So here's the deal. You get 2 lists with 5 songs. So the first list are top 5 electronic club songs. And they are probably not the best top 5 songs, but to me they have a special meaning, so I would say. The first song is from AGONIZE. It's called Bis das Blut gefriert. The second is from Suicide Commando. I go with Bind, Torture and Kill. The third song is XPQ21, White and Alive. Dawn of Ashes, Torture Device. And the fifth song, probably Combi Christ with Electrohead. And there are so many great bands like Fine Fluke, Solitary Experiments, Nursery Rhymes, XRX. Oh, XRX are fucking amazing. So yeah, these are my top 5 club songs. Then let's speak a little bit about dark wave and cold wave and industrial. Yeah, the first thing is very mainstream, and I think that there are some goths that don't agree with that, but it's Marilyn Manson. I know for the really true goths, Manson is it's a 50-50 thing, but to me personally, Manson means a lot to me. So yeah, Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar. And then I'm very much into Buzzcool. I don't know how to pronounce that correct. And the song Dreams is very great. Also The Soft Moon. And my favorite song by The Soft Moon is, I would say, The Pain, because that's the first song I've heard by The Soft Moon. Number 4 is Wumskat. And I don't know if Wumskat is correct in this list, because you could say it's probably better in the club list, but the song Christ Fuck. And number 5 is maybe Anne Clark with Sleeper in Metropolis, because this is a timeless song. But there are also so many great bands. I mean, top 5 is pretty hard. I could say now older stuff by Terminal Choice, I would say, is very goth. Like the song Totes Fleisch, for example. Or there are Lebanon, Hannover, She Passed Away. Of course, Joy Division. Maybe I should make a top 100 list and a separate video. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see that. Lemon Bees asked, have you encountered the band Idols? I have heard of this band, and I guess I've heard some songs, but I can't really remember the sound right now. I just had to go back and listen to 1 or 2 songs. I'm very familiar with the name, but I can't tell you right now how they sound. Maybe we should do a reaction on this channel. And Lemon Bees asked also, so far, which Ren song do you recommend to others? And that's not easy. I would say depends on the person. So if this person is very much into lyrics and into mental health things, I would say definitely High Ren so far from the songs I've discovered. And when I know that this person is more on the song itself, then definitely Slaughterhouse. If lyrics are important, it's Hyren, and if the instrumental is important, then Slaughterhouse. But there are so many Ren songs to discover, so that can change easily. The last question for today is by LD. See, you're a horror fan from your setup. Yeah, a little bit. Can you give us a tour of your collection and top 3 horror films? There is a ghost face, there is a Michael Myers mask from the 2018 Halloween movie. I have the Kills mask, but I have to rehaul it. I also have a Corey Taylor Iowa mask, but I rehauled it and it doesn't look that good, so I have to work on it. And there is the Billy doll from the Dead Silence movie. Also there are Mickey, Minnie and Pikachu. And that's basically it. I have a little home studio here where I produce my music. So if I would give you a tour, it would be more like technical stuff, because there's so many technical stuff in here. If you guys want to see a little studio / room tour and want to see how I produce music and what gear I have, if you are into gear, let me know it, then I can make a room tour for you. But if you're just interested in movie stuff, that's all I have here. Also, LD asked, see, you have lots of piercings and tattoos and special meaning to you. Yeah, I definitely have a few piercings, and I have here some tattoos, and here I started to tattoo myself. Wouldn't recommend it. Don't do that. Go to a professional artist. But like I said, I love to learn new stuff. 90% of the piercings in my face I made myself. And special meaning, huge meanings. I mean, like I said, I have the Tribal S from Slipknot, and I have Marilyn Manson here. So these 2 bands are probably the most important to me. So yeah, that's maybe, there are no special meanings, so I don't have names from a dead pet or from a family member or something like this. It's more about art and yeah, so no special meanings. And I see I forgot to answer the last question. My top 3 horror movies. That's all. Top 3? Guys, you are kidding me. Because it's not enough. I really love watching movies. I watch at least every 2 or 3 days a movie, and I'm into so many genres. It's the same like with music. And my love with horror movies started in the early 2000s. And that was the time when teen horror movies were a really big thing. But my all-time favorite movie is Halloween, like I said a few minutes ago. The John Carpenter Halloween is such a great movie. You don't see blood. It was super cheap. The story is not the craziest story, but the way how they made this film and the atmosphere and how scary it is, it's just an amazing movie. And I really love all the movies that came after that, except the Rob Zombie movies, because I hate Rob Zombie movies. The only Rob Zombie movie I like is 31, and I like his music. He's a really great artist, and his movies don't look bad. The movies are well produced, but it's the dialogues. I mean, 90% of the dialogue are swear words. And I want to see movies that are deep and with a great story. And what he did with Halloween movies is very frustrating to me. Because for me, Michael Myers is the perfect serial killer, the perfect scary one. I watch Friday the 13th and I see little Jason is dying because of the kids. So he is later coming back and he wants revenge. And I understand why he wants that. Because he was bullied and it's about revenge. I can relate to that. No, not to killing each other people. I understand the thing between bullying and you want revenge. But yeah. Then Nightmare on Elm Street. Same thing. He abused children, but they burned him alive. He wants revenge. There is a backstory. But there is no story with Michael Myers. Michael Myers is just... He has this pale face, this black eyes. He don't speak a word. He's after you and he wants to kill you. Why? You don't know why. And that makes him so scary. And that's why I love the Halloween movies. And there is Rob Zombie. And he takes this scary character and gives him a white trash family who treat him like shit. And you know that if a kid grows up in this kind of environment, you understand what he does. And you understand that he's mentally done. And then he finds the Michael Myers mask and he starts killing people, and you think, yeah, well, of course he does. Because with his stepdad and his mother and his sister, of course. And then it's no longer scary to me. So thank you, Rob Zombie. Yeah, so long story short, my favorite horror movies are all Halloween movies except the Rob Zombie ones. Second place, I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I think these are two absolutely amazing horror movies. And the third one, there are so many great movies right now in my head. It's hard to pick one, but I guess I have to go with the Scream franchise, because there is no Scream movie that really disappointed me. I really like all of those. So yeah, the Scream franchise, the Halloween franchise, and the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. Except the third one. The third one is not so good. But if you want more recommendations, the original Exorcist, The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, or Psycho. Psycho is amazing. But also the Leprechaun franchise makes so much fun, and there are so many great movies like Hellraiser, especially the first, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I'm not so into Friday the 13th because I don't like Jason, but I love Freddy. Freddy vs. Jason, absolutely masterpiece. The Chucky franchise. My favorite movie from the Chucky franchise is Bride of Chucky. I mean, Ronnie Yu did an amazing job with Freddy vs. Jason and with Bride of Chucky. Also, these soundtracks are so great. Yeah, so these are my top 3 and more horror movies I like. And guys, that's it for today's video. These are all of your questions. I hope you are satisfied right now and you're happy with my answers. So I'm ending this video here. I hope you enjoyed it and you had fun. And I would say, until next time, peace.